What's up everyone, this is Spooky, and this is part 2 of my A-Rank Agent Review series for newcomers and veterans of Zenless Zone Zero. Today I want to talk to you about Pulchra, who's a solid A-Rank stunner, easily accessible as a free-to-play or low spender. With ZZZ version 2.0 as well as the Xbox version coming soon, this guide will help you build her and use her to the fullest with advice on her drive discs, W engines, combos, and combat examples. Pulchra is slated to be a rank up agent during the new Yi Xuan Banner, which means you new players and returning players in 2.0 will almost certainly be getting lots of copies of her. You might even be getting her Mindscape 6, which buffs all characters by 30% on their damage. Also, her additional ability will be buffed soon to work together with Rupture agents, including Yi Xuan, adding to her potential effectiveness. Pulchra is an excellent stunner, specializing in off-field aftershock attacks. Mindscape 6 Pulchra even compares well against S-rank stunners like Lycan and Kolita. This makes her a great free-to-play agent to build for your teams, and it's very convenient that you'll be getting her alongside Yi Xuan when you pull for her. Stun agents specialize in quickly raising the enemy's stun potential, this bar below their health. Once an enemy is stunned, you will score free chain attacks on the downed enemy, and they will take increased damage for a period of time. Pulchra's core passive skill buffs her dazed buildup each time she enters her special Hunter's Gait stance. This stance can be activated after EX special attack, ultimate, defensive assist follow-up, and chain attack. When on field, the stance only lasts for about 6 seconds, but if you tag Pulchra out, including via quick assist, this state will last infinitely until you tag her back in. Once you tag Pulchra out, she can continue to attack the enemy while off field if she's in her special Hunter's Gait stance. The amount of attacks she can do is based on how many Hunter's stacks she has remaining, which you can see here under her life bar. To start this series of aftershock attacks, you'll need to land a heavy attack with your on-field agent. What counts as a heavy attack really varies between agents, but you'll know you have activated it because a special fire prompt will appear on screen. Pulchra's additional ability is also tied to these aftershock attacks. It will allow all agents to do 30% extra aftershock damage to the target after she strikes them. At Mindscape 6, however, this becomes all attacks, not just aftershock ones. This means she can significantly buff your entire team while doing lots of stun to the enemy, all while she is off field. Now, before I get into Pulchra's attacks and combos, I want to talk to you about today's sponsor. This video is sponsored by LD Shop, the makers of LD Player. LDShop.gg lets you save up to 29% on Zenless Zone Zero monochromes, internet membership, and other shop goods. It's a safe and reliable way to top up at a discount. You don't need to give any personal information, just your server and game ID. You can also receive your first top-up double bonus and purchase unique packages as they become available in the shop. Here's an example of me using LD Shop to grab 3 months of internet membership. After putting in my server and user ID, I can quickly complete my purchase. Within 1 minute, the 900 monochromes, 300 for each month, were delivered to my account, and you can see on my calendar that 90 additional days of daily rewards were delivered. If you use the link in the description and comments of this video, you can receive additional discounts such as a 15% off coupon, which lets you save up to $50 on top of the low prices. Also, if you spend over $80, you can become a part of their VIP system, which gives free internet membership. Alright, let's talk about Pulchra's attacks and combos. First, I'll talk about the less useful ones to get them out of the way. Her basic attacks are good for some days, but overall, not very useful. Most of the time, you'll want to minimize her on-field presence as she does her best work while off-field in Hunter stance. You can also hold down basic for this charge leaping slash. It's pretty good for dealing some solid days, and it's not a bad way to tag her out as well, since it has a long startup. It's the same deal with her special attack. This is nice for some days, but not really what you want to be doing most of the time with Pulchra, unless you have the enemy near stun. Her dodge counter is also nothing special. Unfortunately, it does not enter Hunter's stance, so it's only good for building daze on the enemy as well as gaining a little energy. Now for the good stuff. EX special attack is where she'll be doing her best work. This thing does significant daze while putting her in Hunter's Gait stance. In addition, she'll also set up a quick assist, making it easy to tag her out so you can set up her aftershock effects. Notably, Pulchra tags the person before her in the agent rotation rather than the agent after her. This makes it so you can also have a support tag to that same agent, setting up insane DPS rotations with your attack or rupture agents. Her ultimate has similar usage to the EX special, great for doing tons of daze to the enemy while also setting up Hunter stance and quick assist to your DPS agents. Use this whenever it's available to bring the pain to the enemy. Her evasive assist is one of her premier tools. Not only is it great for tagging in quickly for some days, it will immediately give both Hunter's Gait as well as letting her quick assist right back to your DPS agent. A phenomenal skill that should be used often. Pulchra's chain attack will also set up her Hunter's Gait stance. In addition, it gives you a quick assist too, so you can set up her damage bonuses during your stun combo. Because of the nature of Pulchra's kit, mastering her involves mastering enemy timings. Use your defensive assist relentlessly, set up aftershock, and dish out damage. Once your energy is flowing or you have ultimate, tag her in, refresh your buffs, and quick assist right back out. Flow like water to get the most out of what Pulchra can do rather than leaving her on field where she's less effective without meter or her ultimate available. Now that you understand some of her basic tactics, I want to give examples of teams that you can utilize together with Pulchra. First off is one of my favorite free-to-play squads, Lucy, Piper, and Pulchra. In this team, Pulchra is a great complement to Piper, who wants to spend a lot of time on field building her spin attacks. If you happen to have Nekomata, Pulchra can work well with her too. You can utilize good supports like Nicole or Lucy to help up Neko's damage. Really, this works with many damage dealers, so what I'm giving you here is just examples you can make work based on the damage dealer you have. Next up is what I like to call my ultimate day one comp. Nicole and Billy are two agents given to you for free at the end of chapter 1, and Pulchra slots right in with the two of them, allowing you an easy, long-range game where Pulchra and Nicole can defensive assist for Billy while Billy can set up his nice long-range damage. Now getting into some event agent teams. Her best team before patch 2.0 is probably Astra Yao, Soldier Zero Ambi, and Pulchra together. This is one of my favorite teams to use in high level content like Deadly Assault and Shiyu Defense, putting out phenomenal damage and being extremely well rounded. You can do the same thing with Caesar King, Soldier Zero, and Pulchra as well. Caesar and Astra are both very good at buffing your damage dealer, while Pulchra will help defend that damage dealer as well as passing on her buffs too if she has M6. With patch 2.0, you could also consider the new squad of Yi Xuan, Pan Yin Hu, and Pulchra together. Both Pan and Pulchra will complement Yi Xuan's on-field damage well, making this a very good team to center your Yi Xuan around if you're not going for Astra Yao. Now that you have an idea of how to use Pulchra as well as some of her potential teammates, let's discuss her skill priority. Because her Hunter's Gait aftershock effects are considered special attacks, I recommend prioritizing core skill and special first. Next, I will prioritize assist and ultimate, as these are the two ways you'll be dishing out lots of days in addition to Hunter stance setups. Her basic and dodge attacks are far less useful, so you can save these for last in your upgrade path. Here is my W engine advice. If you happen to get her box cutter while pulling for other weapons, it's a very good W engine for Pulchra, giving her more impact, fizz damage, and daze with no downtime. If you don't have this one, try Steam Oven, as this is an easy to get, free to play engine. If you used your special selector on Colita's W engine, the Hellfire Gears, as I recommended, then it also does well here. Finally, if you have Lighter's Blazing Laurel, this is an excellent choice, doing even better days than her own box cutter. This makes it a good engine to lend to her when Lighter is not in use. Now for Pulchra's disc drives. First off, do not use Shadow Harmony. I know many people will recommend this set to you. In fact, it is even the highest in-game recommendation. But consider that Pulchra is not spectacular at dishing out damage. Buffing her Aftershock really is less effective than having her buff the rest of your team. Instead, I can recommend some much better 4-piece sets. I have a big recommendation, especially during version 2.0. The new King of the Summit disc drive set meant for Jufufu is also excellent on Pulchra. You will have to build with a 50% crit rate to get the most out of the set. But if you do, every time you use your EX special or chain attack, you will buff everyone's crit damage by 30% for a period of time. This is an excellent buff to the squad, and I highly recommend building this set for Pulchra when it releases during version 2.0. If you're building her before version 2.0, or you don't have the 50% crit rate, you can also try the 4-piece Astral Voice, which will buff your team based on quick assist. This is a primary part of Pulchra's game plan, so having her buff your squad each time she tags out is a great way to add to your damage dealer's DPS. This is also a good idea if King of the Summit is already being used by someone else on the squad. You can also try 4-piece Protopunk if Astral Voice is already being used by your on-team support agent. This will increase everyone's damage by 50% when you use Pulchra's defensive assist. For your 2-piece, one set really stands out. Shockstar Disco with its daze buffs is clearly the best choice. You could also choose 2-piece King of the Summit if you're not using it as your 4-piece. On your Drive Disc 4, aim for crit rate as your main stat. On Disc 5, Fizz damage bonus or attack percentage are both effective. On Disc 6, prioritize impact so you can deal even more daze. Once you have the ability to farm for better discs, you can improve your substats, especially on Discs 1, 2, and 3. Go for lots of crit rate, as well as crit damage where you can find it. You could also consider an Anomaly Proficiency build if you're using her together with Anomaly Agents, so that you can get some nice Disorder procs during your rotations. I also want to talk in depth about her Mindscape 6 and whether you should go for it. This makes her Hunter stance give her 2 additional Aftershocks for a total of 8. It also makes her 30% buff work for all damage types, not just Aftershock damage. This turns her into a super support alongside her great days, really upping your overall DPS. If you plan to use Pulchra, you should heavily consider continuing to pull on the Yi Xuan Banner until you get M6 Pulchra and M6 Pan Yin Hu, even after you have gotten your copy of Yi Xuan. Of course, as a free-to-player, your pulls are limited, so this is up to you. You could also consider using your new shop A-rank selector, which I don't have full details on yet, but it seems to be a good way to get extra copies and M6 of some of your important A-rank agents. This has been my guide for Pulchra in Zenless Zone Zero. If you're just joining the game in version 2.0, especially Xbox players, use her. She's a powerful stun agent that will help you grow your account and also help you out in the end game. Follow the channel if this guide helped you, and look forward to more of my guides for A-rank agents that I think will be helpful to you as new players.